Hey everyone, Shine Sprite Ditto welcoming you back for more Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last part, we started up the Forest Temple and obtained the Fairy Bow. We went through a very twisted corridor, but now we came back to shoot the eye. Now in this part, we are going to hopefully be finishing up the Forest Temple. Hopefully. Or at least get to the boss. That would be amazing. Alright, so now that we've untwisted this corridor, we can actually get that new chest that we've never seen before. What will it be? What will it be? As if I don't know. The boss key. Yes, just as I mentioned at the start of this dungeon, now that we are an adult, they have the boss completely locked up. It's too terrifying. And speaking of terrifying! Oh, okay. But yeah, now we need a special key to go through the dungeon. And hello. Yeah, knocking them with your shield will get rid of their fire, but that was a wall master. They are not very fun. They will reach down from the ceiling and grab you. If they grab a hold of you, not only do they look and sound terrifying, but they will take you back to the beginning of the dungeon. Now, this room that I'm in here, I've talked about how useless it is, but I want to be safe. I'm going to use Farore's Wind. Now, that might sound crazy. But just hear me out. The reason for this is because when we go through here, you can see that we're back in the courtyard. Everything relates back to these courtyards. The first one we went through, where we had to climb to get to the other one. But there's been this structure in the corner here, and we are going to hop across it. Now, just in case I fall, I set Farore's Wind, because if I fall, I have to climb all the way back through the dungeon and come back up here. But now, we can see a Gold Skulltula. I believe this is our 5th one in this dungeon. And there's only one more left in this dungeon, but yeah, climbing through here will get us that. I no longer need Farore's Wind, so it was useless after all. Of course, if I had failed, I wouldn't be saying that. Small indent here. But now we have a room over here where we have the less terrifying, but still horrifying, Floor Master. It's not going to take you back to the beginning of the dungeon. It can only damage you, which I think just immediately makes it less terrifying. It does have a cool design in this game, though. But basically, you want to knock it with your shield, and then slice it open. Once you cut it enough times, it'll split into 3. Use a spin attack to kill them as fast as possible. And they're defeated. Yeah, way less terrifying than the Wall Masters. But they have a pretty keepy. They have a pretty keepy. I will never do that again. I am so sorry. They have a pretty creepy and cool design, if you ask me. But now, what is through here? A small key! Which we had already seen a locked door earlier. That's what halted our progress. And through here... Yep, we have to go back through this room anyway. This would have been a wonderful time to use Farore's Wind, which I keep talking about, but I can't... I want to know, if anybody has played this game before, and I know my audience consists of like 10 people right now, but I'm really curious if any of those 10 people have played Ocarina of Time and have ever found a use outside of the Forest Temple. Because, obviously, when you set Farore's Wind, I guess if you're new and you have to quit playing and you set Farore's Wind and save and quit, you can just immediately resume back in the room you were instead of climbing all the way through the dungeon again. And I guess that would be the use for first-time players, because otherwise you're never going to know what room you're going to be backtracking into, because you don't know the game, you haven't played it. So what would be the use of Farore's Wind? I don't know, I've never found it useful, but if anybody has found a point in the game where it is actually really useful and didn't completely fumble its use in the Forest Temple like I have, I mean, other than this one instance, because we're going to shoot the eye again, and now it'll open back up, and it'll be all twisted again, so now we can go unlock that door. But yeah, I've never really found a use for it, so if anybody has another instance in the game where it is useful, and I'm just not thinking, or have just never thought to use Farore's Wind, that would be really interesting for me to hear about. But, yeah. Okay, no. Best instance of Furor's Wind is once you are in this room. I know I keep talking about Furor's Wind a lot, but I guess now that I've been talking about it, and I've talked like, oh, maybe I just haven't thought about it, I'm starting to think of instances in the game where I can actually use it. And probably the best, and I've said this like 6 times in this dungeon, is to set it in the room that had the locked door to begin with, in this room. Because then, once you get that key, you can just immediately warp back and not have to climb through everything, not have to untwist or twist up the hallway again, and you could just come through here. Green bubble, yeah, not much different. But yeah, you could just come right back here and it wouldn't be a problem at all. But, yeah, I guess I'll try that on my next playthrough and see how that works out, because, I don't know, maybe I should try to use it more. But you probably won't see it in this Let's Play other than that one time, and I just wanted to really show it off what it did. But now we have one frozen in ice. We have to use the spinning platforms to get behind the fire so we can shoot a fire arrow and melt the ice, which is now twisting up the once neat hallway. So now, let's head back through here now that this corridor is all twisted and see what awaits us. We've never been in this direction, so entirely new territory. And this room is reused in Majora's Mask. Link, watch out! The ceiling is falling down. Yeah, we're gonna walk this way. Just to sort of show off, if you are having trouble latching onto that treasure chest, this will actually take you into the courtroom, and you can just drop down if that's a lot easier for you. It's also probably the way they intended for you to get that Gold Skulltula, and there is a way back up there, so there's no need to worry, but I haven't really explained that and don't feel like showing it off right now. So let's go through here, and anyways, what we're gonna want to do is shoot this Skulltula with our arrow, and we're going to I've never messed this up before in my life, but we're going to run to where the Skulltula is and have it hit us continuously. But we're gonna want to make it to the golden switch. Well, that is some Let's Play curse right there of just me never ever having that happen to me in my entire life. I've never messed this up. And now here I am showing my videos to a whole 12 people, and I fumble. Another post sister. Here we go. What does she have in store for us? And a block pushing puzzle. Yep, we're going to match up these pieces just like they are in the painting, which is kind of not complicated at all. However, I will say that if you run out of time, you might be wondering what that timer is for. If you run out of time, the puzzle pieces will flip, because they're set up in a way, they're always set up this way when you first shoot the picture. They will always be in this order and this position. But, and it's kind of easy. It's set up for you to just be able to push them through. But if you allow the timer to run out, they will flip to another side and disjoint the picture even more, which could take more time. So if you somehow run out of time and cause the puzzle pieces to flip, it's actually a lot harder than just trying to do it the first time. And here we have Amy, one of the Post Sisters. These Post Sisters are actually in Majora's Mask as well. Not to talk about the sequel of this game too much, even though it's probably my favorite Zelda game. But they're in Majora's Mask as well, and I think they keep the same names when you battle them there, but that is optional content in that game. So yeah, just a nice little interesting description that they keep the same. And just like the other ones, not much different here. Let's not get you stuck in a wall. And you are gone. Only one Post Sister left. Wherever could she be? And a door, but wait. It seems we only have one hallway left of the dungeon. We've been through it all. Well, I guess we'll just make our way back to the center room and see what we can do. That is not... using the C buttons and using a control stick instead is so aggravating. And we're back in the main room. And... it's her. This is kind of a creepy effect. But, let's go after her. And... she's duplicating! I'm glad they gave all the Poe Sisters different ways of defeating them. But you'll notice that one of them is turning when they separate. That is the one that is real and the one that you have to shoot. But yeah, I really like that they gave all the Poe Sisters different way of combating them. So that, I mean, I guess two of them are the same. But you have to do something different for each one outside of the first two. So I really like that. Just 3 different unique ways of fighting these guys makes them register as more unique in your mind. But hopefully we're almost done here. And you'll notice the Poe Sisters we've already defeated now have their lights back, and that this is the only one that remains. I basically recommend just standing in the center here so you have a good view of all of them, and she is gone. She drops an arrow, her light restores, and we can now make our way to the basement. We are almost done with this dungeon. I cannot believe it. I really love this dungeon. This has been a lot of fun, even though I messed up the dumbest stuff. And we can see the skull on our map. In fact, we can actually see the boss door. But there's just one more puzzle that waits for us. I don't know why this room exists. It feels so off-putting compared to the rest of the Forest Temple. It feels a little out of place with its colors and stuff, but when we push the walls, we'll see that the room will rotate itself, allowing the open areas to be entirely new sections. And if you can't hear it blaring in your ears, we have our final Gold Skulltula for the dungeon. So let's collect that. And now our only focus is really heading towards the boss. And it's a really fun boss, too. You got a bundle of arrows! Alright, so... keep pushing it forward. And nothing in this cubby, but... I messed something up. Oh no, this is so humiliating. Yeah, okay, so let's push the opposite way. I don't think it makes much of a difference, but yeah, we're gonna push towards that white one and not this white one. Sorry, got disjointed. And now this white one will have golden switch, which is so weird because this switch is set up like a diamond instead of being just a front-facing square. That's weird. I think this might be the only switch like that in the entire game. That's very odd to me. It shouldn't be, but it is. But that switch opened up the gate on the red... I won't call this a square. Trapezoid? Now we can press this switch, which will open the way for the other switch. I guess we're really switching it up, huh? Please don't click off the video. Please. Please. That's all I have. And one more. And over here. And now our way to the boss is open. Should I fight? Yeah, we got enough time to fight the boss. We're only 15 minutes in, roughly. So let's just go ahead and do it. It shouldn't take that long. I always run into this door. I don't know how. But we're in the boss room. And there's nobody here, but there's a Triforce, so I guess we'll just make our way back. Ganondorf? Evil spirit from beyond? Phantom Ganon. There's a Phantom Ganon boss fight in pretty much every single Zelda game that has Ganon in it. And now, for our first phase of battle, what we're going to want to do is see which of the horses are running out of the painting first. And I messed it up, but yeah, I realized I don't have any source of health recovery, so I need to be more careful. But also, whichever one is laughing is going to be the one that's going to come out of the painting. You can actually hear him galloping, and yes, I got him, alright. Yeah, you can actually listen to hear the gallop of the horse to know what the real one will be. Sounds like this one. Yeah, it looks like this one. Yes, it'll be whichever one is making the galloping sound, and it'll also be whichever one starts running out of the painting first. Sounds like this one, looks like this one. I was wrong! Okay, yeah, if you don't make it, you want to get out of the center because that is going to be the only place where he attacks. Sounds like this one. I was right. And after 3 times, he will abandon his horse, and he will face you. Phantom Ganon, it's an evil ghost of the Forest Temple. Here comes out he comes out of one of the pictures. Enter his magic attack with an attack of your own. So, we're basically gonna play getting hit. We're gonna play tennis with his blast, and whenever he falls, attack him as much as possible. To be honest, I probably don't recommend jump attacking. And you'll see what I mean by that. Oh, come on. Okay, so Phantom Ganon will actually mention that when you battle the real Ganondorf, it won't be as easy. But I actually find Phantom Ganon to be a harder boss fight than Ganondorf himself. Yes, so when he falls, you actually want to crouch with your shield and just spam the B button. You can actually get more hits in than just doing your jump attack. And, he's still not dead yet. Okay. Alright, come on. I think Ganondorf just does more damage when he hits you. And he has more phases, but overall, I think Phantom Ganon is probably the harder boss fight. For reasons I'll explain whenever we get to Ganondorf, I don't want to spoil, obviously, the final boss of the entire game. The literal last thing that we'll be doing. And will this be it? Yeah, you'll do more damage crouching, and yes, he is defeated! Already, it only took a couple minutes. Hey kid, you did quite well. It looks like you may be gaining some slight skill. But you have defeated only my Phantom. When you fight the real me, it won't be so easy. What a worthless creation that ghost was. I will banish it to the gap between dimensions. Yeah, no, Ganon's gonna be a lot easier, I swear. And of course, don't step into the pretty blue light until we have our heart container. 12 hearts, only 8 more to go, and 4 of them will be from dungeons, so really, only 4 more to go. Chamber of Sages. Thank you. Because of you, I could awaken as a sage. I am Saria, the sage of the Forest Temple. I always believed that you would come, because I know you. No. You don't have to explain it to me, because it is destiny that you and I can't live in the same world. I will stay here as the Forest Sage and help you. Now please take this medallion. You receive the Forest Medallion. Saria awakens as a sage and adds her power to yours. Saria will always be your friend. I guess that is our final goodbye to Saria. And here we stand in front of the Deku Tree once more. Hi there! I'm the Deku Tree Sprout. Because you and Saria broke the curse on the Forest Temple, I can grow and flourish. Thanks a lot. Hey, have you seen your old friends? None of them recognized you with your grown-up body, did they? That's because the Kokiri never grow up. Even after 7 years, they're still kids. Then why are we an adult? You must be wondering why only you have grown up. Well, that is what I just said. Well, as you might have already guessed, you are not a Kokiri. You are actually a Hylian. What? I'm happy to finally reveal this secret to you. Why would you keep something like that from me? Some time ago, before the King of Hyrule unified this country, there was a fierce war in our world. One day, to escape the fires of war, a Hylian mother and her baby boy entered this forbidden forest. The mother was gravely injured. Her only choice was to entrust the child to the great Deku Tree, the guardian spirit of the forest. The Deku Tree could sense that this was a child of destiny whose fate would affect the entire world, so he took him into the forest. After the mother passed away, the baby was raised as a Kokiri, and now finally the day of destiny has come. You are a Hylian, and were always bound to leave this forest. And now, you have learned your own destiny, so you know what you must do. That's right, you must save the land of Hyrule. Now, Link, break the curses on all the temples, and return peace to Hyrule. We will certainly be doing that. And I guess this is a good spot to leave off. The Deku Tree is growing once more, and we've broken the spell that was in the Forest Temple, and allowed Saria to awaken as a sage. So, next time on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I guess we'll make our way towards the second sage. I'll see you guys then.